Hey guys, I see you coming in. Hey Miss Mina, how are you, girlie? Hey Delavie. Hi C Brown. Hey Tracy, I seen you eating good yesterday. Hey John Belly, Damon, Tahar. Aw, thanks, girlie. It's my summer look. Hey Nikki Name. Uh-huh. So I'm just giving it a minute for everybody to come in. How's everybody doing? Aw, thank you, C Brown. Aw, hey Vera. TTT. Ruben says, hello, Lakia. How are you this afternoon? Hope your day is going good and the babies are well. They're well. That's right. Narc free, Tracy. Aw, thank Miss Mina. Nice. Enjoy. Enjoy your vacation, Tracy. Aw. Thank you, TTT. Aw. Nikki Name says, help, getting hoovered after 3 months no contact. Well, I've made a lot of videos on how to change your perception about that narcissist hoovering you back. I wonder if I put it in a playlist. Did I make a hoovered playlist? God ever present. Hello? The thing is, when you're really done with the narcissist, you're not going to need help staying away from them. When you've really let go of all hope, when you realize, when you're allowing that ending, when you're not still in resistance, you're really not going to need that help, guys. Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. Nikki Name says, I know what you do when it happens to you. It's like you lose all logic. Because the narcissist is triggering you emotionally. That's what it is. They're triggering you emotionally. But the good news is we can always step into our logic, right? Because we had a lot of feelings and emotions for that person. So make sure you guys that are coming in are hitting the like button. And definitely, if you're asking questions, you should be subscribed and you hit that like button, all right? Ruben says, Lakia, how do you stop hurting so much? What helps? Detachment helps. Not taking it personally helps. See, we put so much stock into that person and into that relationship working out, and then when it didn't, we were devastated. But we have to detach and realize how we put too much stock, right? And a lot of times when we're running out of codependency, we've enmeshed with that person and we're running as one. We haven't maintained our individuality here. TTT says the worst hoovering ever is through scandal, blackmail. Oh, someone's blackmailing you? Or are you talking about the TV show Scandal? Like, I haven't watched that in a long time. Hey, from London, Queen of Success. Samuel Washington said, I saw my narc after 7 months of total no contact and felt nothing. Okay. See, Samuel has detached. That is when you know that you've detached completely. Dominique Moore, hey, girlie, I'm going to get you your summary today. All right. TTT says, I suffer now from OCD, thinking that I did things that I did not do. It's hard and painful. Well, it sounds like, as with most survivors, a lot of psychological stuff happened between you and that narcissist. And, the patterns are very redundant and they can train you to self-doubt yourself and gaslight yourself because they never took accountability for the things they were doing and they were always minimizing what they were doing. That can make you have that self-doubt, guys. So at least understanding, the psychological aspect of it would allow you to jump into your logic when you feel it perpetuating in yourself. But, the more you give yourself a voice, TTT, the more that, you trust yourself and have faith, like, what I seen, what I experienced, you're not going to keep having those inner conflicts and thinking you did things that you didn't do. Okay? Yes, you are good enough, good ever present. You're good enough. It's just those people are never satisfied. They're too toxic to even accept a good thing. They never really accepted you. Queen of Success says, how can I prepare for when I see my ex with a new supply? Well, it sounds like you feel like your emotions might get mixed up because of it. You prepare for it by having the right attitude about it, by having the right perspectives. We know that they are relationship junkies. We know they're going to be with one person one way or another, but understanding that that new person has a mentality to vibrate with that narcissist, no matter how she looks, what she got going on, her career, or anything that you may perceive is better than you, which I would hate for any survivor to go through that mentally. If you have the right perception, just be like, oh, he found somebody else that didn't know any better. She's going to get an opportunity to know better. And hopefully she takes that. But thinking that they're getting something better, thinking that the narcissist has changed in any positive light for them, or, second guessing yourself because they were able to have another relationship. There's always somebody waiting in the wings with them. There's always somebody caught up in their illusions and delusions. So, when we keep that right mentality, it's not a devastation to see them with that next person. We just know that they're continuing the act. It just ain't with you. Thank God, right? Finally, seeing the light says, you're very wise. I appreciate your positive, sensible messages. Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. Nikki Name says, that's awesome, Samuel. Okay, that's for Samuel. Hey, Diva R and Lynette and Vera Fayez. Okay, Miss Mena says, after 3 days of stop. Okay, got another email today again. How are you? How's the baby? I never responded, but he keeps smelling. It's kind of sick. Yeah. Yeah. He's not going to give up on that. But keep your no contact. Della V says, how long did it take you to detach? You're talking about me personally? It took me some time. The whole healing process for me was like 18 months altogether. But as far as detaching on a level where, he couldn't trigger any jealousy in me, or, he wasn't making me self-doubt or anything like that. It didn't take me too long, actually, for the jealousy part. Like, that was almost instantly for me. Because once I figured out who he was, it was nothing for me to be jealous of. So that part wasn't an issue for me. But I think working my anger out of me, that took some time. So it's really the anger part. Because I felt so disrespected. So it wasn't hard for me. I was never jealous. And you guys might not believe that, but I was never jealous of it. I was disgusted by it. And if anything, I felt like she was an enabler. But, that was out of my toxicity. They are enablers, but even more than that, they're toxic themselves. So more than them enabling the narcissist, like being the getaway driver, allowing them to comfortably be find supply in them instead of just letting them sit in their shit. That's what we want to happen to them. So I didn't appreciate it, but it wasn't a jealousy, because I'm like, I knew what the fuck she got. I was like, she wanted real bad. That's how I felt. Tracy says, what they did to us, they would do to anyone. Absolutely. And it is the pattern that they're going to perpetuate. But you guys, let me just talk a little bit about the topic of this live chat. As you guys can see, it's called They Need Your Permission. All right. The narcissist, or anybody, any person, place, or thing, they need your permission to have entry to you. There's something that you have to consent to. There's something that you have to authorize, guys. There's something that you have to allow to take place to even experience that narcissistic abuse. All right. Now, this is a positive thing actually, because if it's something that you have to authorize, it's certainly something that you can unauthorize, right? Access not granted, right? It's something that you can put a stop to. But we have to really see where every step of the way, there's some aspect of us that had to accept the invitation, that had to say, okay, I'm going to go through with this, that had to agree with it on some shape, form, or whatever, to be able to let it fester in your life. You know, there's an aspect of you. And we can take this on so many levels, guys. We could think of internal turmoil and external conflicts. We have to allow those external conflicts to become internal turmoil. We have to, that's something that we have to grant access to that thing. And that's what you guys need to understand. So the external turmoil is what? The narcissist, the new supply, everybody outside of yourself. You have to allow it access to you. You have to let it, you have to accept it. You have to make it weigh a certain amount, have a certain type of priority. So I want you guys to really start taking accountability for what you're accepting and what you did accept. But by doing so, it gives you the complete authority to not accept it in the future, okay? To take the control. Even if you hand that control, even if you handed your control and power over to someone else, you accepted it, you authorized that. But the good news is you can take it right back as well. So it's so important for survivors to understand the power that you have. The narcissist is nothing without you. I'm serious. They're looking for people constantly. Can you imagine if everybody said access not denied to the narcissist and where they would be right now? They need people to grant them access to be able to manipulate them. You know, once you grant them access, then they get in there and they do what they're going to do. But it's just so important for you to understand how weak and how vulnerable they are. Like, they really need you guys to be something and do something. So it's so important to see the power that you guys have over them. So much more than they want to give you the illusion of course. But you have to be able to see that. Diva R says, ignore the hoover. It's an insult that these clowns hoover. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kelly says, I saw my ex-narc at a family function after a year and a half of no contact. Once he said hey to me, I started thinking about him more and more. How do I get over this feeling? Well, what are you thinking about, Kelly? Is it something, it triggered you to think of the love bomb or something? Or, you know, if anything, I would be thinking about the harsh realities of what this person did. Like, don't ever speak to me again type of feeling. So how do you get over this feeling? By recognize that feelings are not based off of logic. And if we step into the logic of why that person wasn't in your life and you've gone a year and a half of not speaking to them for a good reason, right? So now we have to remember what that reason is. Kingdom Women Over God's Heart Ministries. Hello, sweetie. She says, you never know how strong you are until you overcome the devil of narcissism. Yeah. Ruben says, Lakia, I'm hurting not from the narc. I'm hurting because of all I lost. He killed my dog, all of my childhood memories. This is what is crushing my heart to pieces. Yeah. So, you know, you're going through the grieving process, and, you know, my condolences about your dog. But you don't want to intercept the quality of your present life by dragging such heaviness from your past. You know, it's not going to bring your dog back to life. And you said all your childhood memories. Was it a parent? Well, Ruben, I would just be mindful about not magnifying everything that you feel is wrong in your life. Be mindful of that. I mean, we've all suffered and went through some devastations and traumas dealing with these narcissists, but we have to have like a balanced vision so that we're not only seeing what's bad in our life, okay? Because I'm sure that you have a lot to be thankful for and a lot that you can still have gratitude for. All right, because it can get dangerous when we start dragging all of that emotional baggage into our present and it starts weighing us down. And not only has it taken space in the past, but now it's taking space in the present as well. And make some new memories, Ruben. It's time to make some happy new memories because you've had all of that trauma in your childhood. So, start making some happy, healthy, positive new memories, okay? Because you've had it like that, it's time for you to really make that shift and have all that self-love, okay? Loretta says, what scares me most about the narcissist, it seems like there's nothing they won't do, no boundaries at all. Absolutely. We really need to understand that about them. They don't have any lows. They don't have any boundaries. That's right. We made it out. Kingdom Women After God's Heart Ministries. Lenore says, my daughter wants nothing to do with her father and his new supply. She is 13 and refuses to meet her. Well, the new supply is not a wife, so I don't see where she has to be forced to be having a relationship with her, and no judge will make her do that. I mean, he's not married to that woman. So, thank you for sharing. Loving it. Harriet says the narc is now married and still triangulating and chasing, even came to my house 1 week after his wedding. Yeah, it lets you know what you're dealing with. You should have been utterly disgusted by that. Nicole says, hey, Lakia, second time catching your live chat. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thank you, Lenore. Yes, I do, Harriet. I do think there's a demonic aspect to it. I do believe that their vessels, or basically their bodies, are filled with demons. I do believe that. And they're attempting to attack you spiritually. Diva R says it's been 16 months no contact since I left the ex-narc for good, and he's still stalking and hoovering. He's been asking for his stuff back. This is just another hoover, right? Why ask a year plus? Yeah, very lame. It's absolutely a hoover. He doesn't care about that stuff at all, or else it wouldn't have been sitting there for 16 months. Nothing anybody needs is going to sit that long unless they're in jail, okay? So yeah, it's absolutely a hoover. Thank you, Life of Destiny. Dominique Moore says, I went on my old page to promote my business. He activated one of his Facebook accounts, caught him looking at my stories on Facebook on his old account, and he blocked me but didn't block me on Messenger. Right. Yeah, of course. He wants you to reach out to him so bad. He's really thirsty for your conversation. Thank you, Loyalty. Thank you, Pamela, Kelly. You guys inspire me as well. That's right, Diva R. Pamela says, I have pneumonia and I need my ex-husband to help me with the kids, but I don't want to speak to him. I think he wants me to call him. Well, if you don't have any relatives to help you, Pamela, you can keep it strictly, business. If you're sick and you need him to step in, that doesn't have to be personal. That doesn't have to have anything to do with your past relationship with him. They're two separate issues. Nicole says, I was blind to see what was before me. I was too busy doing the right thing, being a responsible mother and taking care of... Hold on a minute. taking care of my home and my children, never held him accountable for anything. Yeah, that's not good, Nicole, though. Hopefully you're taking that lesson moving forward. Because when you don't hold them accountable, what do they keep doing? The same thing, because they weren't held accountable. It wasn't addressed. But the interesting thing with a narcissist is even when you try to hold them accountable, they're going to just play dumb. They're going to minimize. They're going to, say you're the one doing it. They'll find any way to get out of stuff. Hold on, guys. Their emotional maturity would just go into defense, and they'll feel like they're being attacked instead of taking, the constructive criticism. They'll be immature about it. Yeah, Nicole says she blames herself a lot and can't take it, but that's the thing. We can't change the past, and if we were in our ignorance and our brokenness, there's no sense in beating ourselves up. If anything, see that we were, brave enough, or we found the information that helped us at least make the shift into a positive light, And when we're that hard on each other or on ourselves, we're still bringing that past into the present. All right. So I have some things here to talk about as far as no contact mistakes. The mistakes that we do when we go no contact, or we break off from that relationship that wasn't good for us, that we shouldn't be doing anyway. Hold on a minute. Someone's done something. Okay. All right. So one of the things, guys, as far as when we go no contact, sometimes we end up putting our life on hold. Oh, hold on a minute, Pamela. He knows I just got open heart surgery 9 weeks ago, but I hate asking him for help. Yeah, well, do you have any friends or family, your parents or anyone, sibling that could step in? Because we know how it can be with a narcissist. When you're getting a surgery like that, you really, 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 and I don't know how young your children are, you have to make those have it aligned up, who would be helping you, because that's a very, very serious surgery. And, you got to think about what's best for you right now. And what's best for you is having adequate support with the kids. So you're going to have to ask somebody for help. So if it can't be like a family member, a good friend, then I guess it will have to be your ex. But you have to do what you have to do for you right now and put all of that emotional stuff to the side. Okay? So let's talk about the no contact mistakes that we make. And one of it is putting your life on hold. It doesn't mean that you need to run out and rebound into another relationship. That's not what I mean by putting your life on hold. But just being stuck in that breakup. And yes, everyone needs to take time, to heal and pick up their lessons to move forward. But putting your life on hold, for example, would be being stuck or paused in a grieving process. Putting your life on hold would be, because I broke up with a narcissist, I'm going to be swallowed by depression. My business is going to fall apart. Or, I'm going to not be going to work. I'm not going to be responsible for all the things that I had passion about. Everything's going to fall by the wayside and digress, along with me trying to heal from this breakup. I'm going to get completely in my emotions and let all other areas of my life fall apart as well. That's what I mean by putting your life on hold. So, these are the things I wouldn't want you guys to be doing in no contact. If anything, now that you don't have that energy vampire sucking on you, after you've gotten some rest, of course, because that was a trauma, you'll have or should have more energy to get more done. Okay, so instead of putting your life on hold, you would be moving forward even greater than you did in the past. All right. The next thing that sometimes people do in their no contact is they demand answers from the wrong source, i.e., the person that you're going no contact with. All right. So if they weren't emotionally mature enough to have that conversation and accept accountability at the end of the relationship and probably throughout the whole relationship, why are we going to get answers from them now? And that's our emotions taking over at that point, because logically, we know they're not going to accept accountability. They're going to minimize and deny that they even did these things. And, the other thing is understanding that we don't get all the answers, but we do get, enough of the answers. We do know what we need to know. And I say that time and time again. But sometimes survivors aren't satisfied. They need to know every piece of the puzzle, and you're never going to know every piece of the puzzle. That's just not something that God's going to grant us. But He'll give us more than enough information, though. Sometimes we need to know exactly who they're with, exactly when that started, and just things that are very shallow, and they should be insignificant, okay, at this point. All we need to know is they're not good for me, right? This person didn't honor me. This person took me for granted. This person is disloyal. That's all we really need to know, guys. The other thing is downgrading that person to say, oh, we can be friends now, or we'll just be associates now. And I've made a video on how the narcissist was never your friend while they were with you. So how are they going to be your friend now? Because friendship should be an element in all romantic relationships, if that's the case. And if the narcissist was a family member, still keeping that attachment in a certain level, and looking at them as a friend when they're really an enemy. So if things don't work out with a narcissist and you say, well, we're just going to be friends now, but they weren't friends. They didn't show you where they had the coping skills and emotional maturity to have a friendship with you, right? Or do you just want a situation again where it's going to be lopsided and only now you're going to be friends and they're still going to be manipulating and using you just on a friend level? All right. The number one thing that I think survivors do is panicking. Panicking, like just feeling overwhelmed with everything, because it's always more than what meets the eye. So as you're, realizing all of these things, you start panicking. Oh my God, I went through so much. I lost so much. They did all of this. And you're having like this meltdown. This is where having a good prayer life, a good meditation life comes in handy. You can take those deep breaths and be thankful for the ending more than anything. Like maybe all of that stuff did happen, but it's not happening anymore, And this is where having the right perceptions, you guys, go a long way. Another thing that survivors may do is set a deadline. Set a deadline for how long you think you'll be over something. You'll set a deadline for how long, or it could be for them to get you back. Well, if they do this within the next 48 hours and within the next week, maybe I might take them back. It's kind of like bargaining at that point, and that's just a horrible idea. Because then you're just signing up for more of the same. Another thing with no contact is just, once you have that breakup, is just throwing all the rules out. Like, where do you go from here? What are the rules? Like just feeling lost. Like, okay, well, he's not with me, or we're not in a committed relationship, then what are we now? Like not knowing if you're still, and this is no contact, but these are people that are breaking it. And then this is how the narcissist makes you like a third supply, a fourth level supply. Now you're just a friends with benefit with them. Now it's just loose. There's like no boundaries, just like there weren't any boundaries when you guys were together. Yeah, Grace says she has kids with the narc and it's really tough. It is. It can be, but the best thing that you can do is, detach. Detach and understand that narcs are going to do narky things, and, have a certain kind of expectation that they're going to be a narcissist. Um, don't talk to that person when you don't need to be talking to them. And don't put anything past them so that you're prepared when they do these narky things. You were already prepared for it. And also, obviously detaching from the level of taking anything that they're do personal to you. It's their narkiness is just coming out of them, basically. Well, Obi says their child was swallowed by the dark side, and do they have to let their child go? It depends, on just how dark this child is, but certainly, obviously, you can't put anything past your child, even though you want to think, my child would never steal from me, or my child would never do this or that, and then come to find out that your child would, because, their vessel is filled with darkness at that point. You have to deal with them accordingly. So don't put yourself in any vulnerable situations. And you're going to have to let go of titles at that point. Yes, Grace, they are filled with rage and anger. Yeah, it was a Hoover Diva R. Miss Mena says, Lakia, do they stop when they have someone else? Because no man would ever understand this and probably would think, don't need this drama. They don't always stop when they have someone else. No. Just like you just seen in the prior post, the narcissist got married, and the next week they were back to the prior supplies doorstep. They don't always stop. And in your particular situation, because you guys have a child, the child isn't even born yet. So, you know, that narcissist has to lose hope in order to stop. And he's still in resistance right now. And it's probably because you've been no contact, you know. So he thinks you're silent because you're just angry. That's probably what he thinks. Not because you're never going to talk to him again, type of thing. Grace Kelly, after my last court appearance at the narc's request, he is saying that I didn't just, seething, that I didn't just roll over and give in to all his demands, as he is such a liar and uses the court to manipulate and bully. Yeah. Yeah, stand up for yourself. Grace Kelly says, flying monkeys are a real pain. My husband has many doing his bidding. Yeah. Yeah, they're so stupid. TTT says why they don't want to change. They know exactly that that there is afterlife and they will go to hell. Well, they don't want to change because that's painful to them. They would have to take accountability for a lot of stuff. They would have to do things the right way, like basically change their whole essence at that point. That's why they don't want to change. And somewhere in their mind, the way that they're doing things right now is easier. Mm-hmm. OBI says they all operate in the same patterns. Isn't that crazy? That's right, Lori. You're the prize. Mm-hmm. Queen of Success says, I'm struggling, feeling like I have been robbed as I met him jobless and supported him. And I was high flying woman. then had kids and became a stay-at-home mom for 9 years and starting from scratch. Okay, let me reread that. I'm struggling, feeling like I have been robbed. As I met him jobless, so he was jobless, and you supported him, and you was a high-flying woman. Then you had kids with him and became a stay-at-home mom for 9 years, and now you're starting from scratch. Yeah, but don't feel robbed because that was in the past. We can't. A lot of times we cry over spilled milk. I mean, it sounded like you wanted to be a mother and you got to spend some time with them, but have faith in your abilities, queens of excess. And you're not starting from scratch. If anything, you should be starting from a lot more wisdom and understanding. Just take your lessons with you. And, I don't know if you have a God that you believe in, but pray to him. He knows your heart. And if you do your best, he's going to do the rest, sweetie. But it's normal to feel robbed because we invested so much. And usually we overinvested and we put ourselves to the side to where we disconnected from ourselves just for the sake of keeping this relationship. But the good thing about starting over from scratch is you get to build it on a solid foundation. All right. Hey, Grace Kelly from Scotland. That's what's up. Yep, no matter how bad they do you, Miss Mina. Because they minimize it in their own mind. Or they're so self-entitled that they still want what they want. Life of Destiny says, what would you do if he wasn't there? Some are single moms and narcs don't care about helping you, honestly. Yeah, they'll take from you. They will take, and deplete you and then move on to the next. And then you're picking up the pieces with you and your children. And that's why you really got to have those boundaries. You really got to have those boundaries. And yeah, a lot of them, they see single moms as being vulnerable. I'm glad you're sleeping better now, Miss Minna. Everyone should be sleeping better now without that narcissist, right? Exactly, Miss Mina. Hey, Simready. Aw, thank you, sweetie. I'm not gonna respond to that. I don't have a moderator. I don't know how to I'm gonna have to Google this so that we can just have this organized moving forward. Right. Take everything day by day. Mm-hmm. But be positive about it. Be positive about it. Because I've had to start over from scratch too. I have. But I'm better off than I've ever been. So believe that, you turning over this new leaf, you're going to make it better than ever. Everything is a process, but you're going to make it better than ever this time. Who got cut off, Lola J. Miss Mina says, I never stay friends with any ex. Yeah, there's no point in that. Mm-hmm. Tracy says, next month will be a year. I've been no contact, and thanks to prayer and all the research and other experiences, YouTube, I'm so grateful. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Diva R says, I don't take it personally anymore. That's good. Vera says, pray for your children. Absolutely. Life of Destiny says, how do we ensure the narc doesn't rub off on your children when they go with their dad? The best thing you could do is just balance it out at home and teach them emotional maturity. And you be that, that person that treats them or shows them right from wrong. Even kids have their own free will, honestly. But you can counter it by filling them with the right things. And if they're with you more than they're with a narcissist, the odds are in your favor at least. TTT says it's hard that you will leave your child. It's hard that you will leave your child living in a narcissistic environment. Yeah. Well, living, what do you mean by that? That they're going to be with the narcissist more than you, or just, oh, they're spending the weekend with the narcissist? Or you guys have a custody order and you hate that they have to be in the narcissist presence on any level? Yeah, I can understand that feeling. I can certainly understand that feeling. There's not a lot you can do about it, especially if it's a custody, unless you can prove that they're an unfit parent. That would strip them of those rights. The best counter that you can do is, like I said, teaching them emotional maturity. And if they are just only with the narcissist at times, be thankful that it's not the majority. But for a lot of men, it is the majority, as the woman has custody of the children and she may be the narcissist. Yeah, I won't say they always come back, but more than not they do. But like I said, as the title of the live chat, we have to give them the right to do that. We have to give them permission, basically. Miss Mina says, this is what I think. When we get over it, like really get over it, the feelings and stuff, even if they're around us, they can't do anything anymore because we know what we know and it doesn't touch us. Yeah. I mean, we really have to think about even God. God is our creator, right? God created us and he gives us free will. So he doesn't even intercept us on certain levels. So another person, another human being has all this authority. We have to give that to them. Just like we submit to our God and how he says we should live our life and things like that. You have to give a person authority for that. But if God doesn't even intercept us on a certain level, so that's something that we're giving. That's power that we're giving to other people. All right, power that they shouldn't have. So we have the right perspective about things. Take people and relationships off the throne. I'm serious. If you can build that shield and psychologically stand on your own, right? And what anybody does or says or thinks about you, it can never penetrate that shield. Once you get to that level, you will be emotionally and psychologically bulletproof at that point. That's how I am. Nothing anybody can say or do to me can penetrate me to a certain level because nobody has access to that but me. Nobody. They would spend the rest of their life trying to penetrate that, and it would be falling on deaf ears. It would not be fruitful. The narcissist really is the weaker vessel. That's what you guys don't understand. They're actually the weaker vessel. So you can always overpower them. You can take your power back from them. So, it's really important to acknowledge those aspects of things. It needs to be on your time. I say this all the time. It's time for things to be on your time in life. Don't allow anybody to come into your space and F your ish up again. Whatever you got going on, because a lot of times they come when you're doing well in life as well. It's not always when you've had a death or a divorce or something negative. It can be when God has promoted you in life. That dark energy wants to come and intercept and, knock you off your tracks. And that's when you have to say, you know what? Nope, nobody's allowed to do that. I have that boundary. If you think you're going to come over here and mess up what I got going on, mess up my flow, take me off my passion, slow me down in any shape, form, or fashion, you're going to intercept that. Nobody gets to do that. How many of us were doing so well, then we met the narcissist, we're less productive, we have less at our disposal because, they're just energy vampires, sucking, taking. Like, we have to put a stop to that. We really have to put a stop to it. I'm just skimming through the messages here. I see a lot of you talking to each other, and that's great. And I have the support group guys over on Facebook. Miss Mina says, I'm so happy that he discarded me during my pregnancy. God really loves me because now I have all the power. My baby will never have his name. So no, right at all. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, when people reveal to you, you have to see that. They'll show you those red flags in the beginning. We just have to see them and not be in resistance to seeing them. Because sometimes we're in that resistance because we wanted to see something else. We wanted it to be something else. But just being able to stay in reality, just to be able to see things for what they are. Vera says, I'm pretty new to your channel. Please let me know if you have a regular schedule to do these chats. I don't, Vera. I really don't. I really just get in where I fit in. And I say that a lot in my videos. I get in where I fit in. I don't. But if you're on a support group, a lot of times I'll go on there and tell them that I'm going to do the live chat probably 1 minute before I do the live chat. So there's no pattern to it. It's just when I can fit them in. But if you're always hitting that bell, if you've subscribed to my channel and you hit the bell, YouTube should be notifying you. Lola J says, psychologically stand on your own. She put that with a question mark. But put your hair on a... I'm here to... Oh my, I don't know what you mean by that, Lola. Yeah, psychologically stand on your own so that people won't emotionally exploit you. Life of Destiny says the narc can literally smell when you're moving on. Yeah, and that's when they'll try to time to come back. Some ready. Oh, yeah. I guess I'll just block them. Hold on. Guess Lola J could have been a troll. OBI says, I am afraid of them and just want to be done. Yeah, but you don't have to be afraid of them. You need to be aware of them. They're nothing to fear. As a matter of fact, when you really learn about what narcissism is, you'll see how weak and vulnerable and fragile they actually are. Like, don't make them the big bad monster. Aw, thank you, Diva R. She says she really likes the Facebook support group. Aw, well, you know what? A lot of survivors, Life of Destiny, create a profile just for it. So you could think about that. But just, inbox me and let me know that you are... Diva R, she's a troll. Yeah. There's always one in a bunch. Simready says, I feel so great today. I hope it lasts. Yeah, it'll last as long as you want it to. And that's the shield about not letting your external environment intercept you. Simready says, the look on your face. Yeah, I'm like reading a message. I'm like, is this person like trying to throw some shade or what? Yeah, there's always a hater. But, when you have a platform of any kind, you know that there are always going to be some haters somewhere with something to say about something. But I have that shield, guys, so it's nothing for me to just block someone and keep it moving. Mm-hmm. Awareness, not fear. That's right. Elena says awareness is the key. I still need to remind myself a year later, and I still watch videos. Yeah, because there's so much that you can learn, guys, and nobody knows it all. I always say learn as much as you can about psychology. Don't expand your knowledge beyond just the narcissistic abuse channels. Just learn about psychology and the human brain and how we develop, period. That is really helpful. All right, that's really helpful to increasing your emotional maturity, because that's what I do. I don't watch other narcissistic abuse channels. I really don't. I feel like there's nothing that they can teach me, honestly. But that's me, What I do is study psychology a lot, and then I find ways to find what's relevant to help you guys in understanding your healing process better. Diva R says, let your haters be your motivators. But honestly, they're not even my motivators. They're just non-factors. They're more like just non-factors for me, but I feel you on that as well. I understand what you mean by that. Triste says, after walking in the dark, a little shade is enough. Yeah. And I think that person has been in our live chats before, honestly. So, they're taking the time out of their day to come to this live chat, They could be doing something more productive with themselves. It's a waste of energy. But it's not to them, so it lets you know where they are. That's good, Simready. OBI says, I supported my narc that had a job and made more than me. And I'm disabled. Yeah. Because the more the merrier for them. They'll suck you dry with no type of empathy. And then act like you still owe them something. Good. Good. Psychology is for me as well, guys. I love learning about human nature even more. And there's so much. It's very interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live chat, guys. It was great to be able to drop in. The whole point of me having this live chat is just to remind you guys of your own strength and your own power here. Okay, I don't want anybody to be feeling defeated and powerless and, are living their life in fear over such a vulnerable, weak vessel. I know, talking about my hair piece. I like my hair piece. I love hair pieces. They allow me to just change my look up, because my real hair, you guys know I like to wear natural hair and I don't like to do much to it. But I can experiment with different hairstyles through hair pieces. So I love it. I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, she's blocked from the channel, so we don't have to worry about Lola, whoever. Sometimes they make other profiles though. So she might come back disguised as another name, but we'll just block that one too. Miss Mina says, thank you, Lakia. Kisses for you and your kids. God bless you. And you look like a hot, sexy mama. Okay. I'll take that. Right. Always. I'm always going to do me, and you guys need to do you, all right? Unapologetically and all of that. Well, Queen of Success, I don't know how old your son is, and I'm not sure who the she is that you're talking about. So, maybe you can send me an email, sweetie. Okay? Send me an email, coachlakia@gmail.com. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live chat. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, he's 9. Oh, he's really young. I wouldn't say there's no hope for him. I mean, a lot has been engraved in him because a lot, if you study, I would research, what's her? Queens of Success, start researching childhood development. And you're going to learn a lot when you do that. Childhood, a child's mental development from the ages 0 to 10. It's pretty interesting, though, how our minds become embedded with things even by the age of 2. And then they say, like, by the age of 5 is so drastic. It's almost like we're almost literally set for life. But it doesn't mean that, because he's 9, I would still think that, there's some hope for him. But it would take some massive accountability, some massive shits, and reprogramming him and really holding him accountable for whatever the behaviors. All right. But yeah, start studying childhood mental development from the ages of 0 to 10, and that's going to help you make that shift in his mind. All right, guys, you have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.